State officials want to find out how many young people are homeless in Barnstable. We have details about a new survey. And some members of the U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team have played in Hyannis. Plus, we get tips on where to find the best oysters from an expert. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, January 24th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. The Hyannis Youth and Community Center is preparing for the arrival of elite collegiate hockey players. They will again host Women's Hockey East. The event always draws a crowd. General Manager Joe Izzo recently learned that many players who came to Hyannis with the tournament from years past are now on the U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team.
We were thrilled to learn that about half of the team has played here at the HYCC at some point or another, whether it was through Hockey East or through the Canadian Women's Hockey League. So it's just a great feather in our cap to be able to host so many wonderful athletes who perform at such a high level right in our own backyard.
Women's Hockey East will be held on Friday, March 7th through Sunday, March 9th. Joe Izzo says it's a great opportunity to see some great hockey players.
Friday, what happens is the teams will come in. They'll arrive from wherever. Last year it was Providence, Northeastern, BU, and BC. So wherever the teams come from in Hockey East, whether it's UNH or wherever, they'll all come down on their buses on Friday. Each will have a practice session here, which is open and free to the public. So you can come, get a hot chocolate from the Casual Gourmet, sit out here and watch the teams go through their workouts prior to the tournament. And then Saturday we'll host the two semifinal games. And tickets are $10 for the day, so $10 gets you admission to both days. And they'll play on Saturday afternoon. Game one will start, and then a couple hours later, game two will start. And then they'll pack up and head to the hotel for Saturday night, get their rest. And the two winners will come back on Sunday and play the championship game on Sunday afternoon, which will be broadcast on there.
Tickets can be purchased on the town's website by clicking through to the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, as well as right on site. The state wants to know how many young adults and teens are homeless. Officials say it's a tough number to quantify because many homeless young people move from bed to bed and aren't counted each year during the census. Officials are conducting a survey in Barnstable to get a better gauge on what those numbers are. Leisure Services Director Patty Machado says a survey will help.
Missing all these young people, and that number is huge, and no one's sure of the actual number and what the needs are out there. So what the state has done is they put together an opportunity for young people to pair up with an adult, and they will go out and help get people to fill out these surveys. And the surveys are just so that we can find out what's going on out there. The state needs to know what's going on and get some numbers and get some criteria of what the necessary things. We don't know if they're eating. We don't know anything. The state doesn't know. We know that it's out there. The schools are saying that it's out there.
There is a training session Monday night for adults and teens who want to get involved in the project. The meeting will be held at the Career Opportunities Center on North Street in Hyannis from 6 to 7 Monday night. Pizza will be served. We are in the middle of the oyster season. For those ambitious enough to brave the cold temperatures, this time of year can be a perfect time to go out and get some fresh local oysters. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin talked with Natural Resources Supervisor Doug Colwaite to get tips on how and where to get the best oysters. We share a portion of that interview with you now.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about oystering. Of course, this is the time of year to do it, and I understand it's been a really good season, lots of success, especially at the Scudder Lane area. So, Doug, what can you tell me about how things have been going down there at Scudder this year?
Well, I just said they've been going fantastic this year. I know last year, in December, we had to close it down because of seed and lack of stock. But this year, we anticipate keeping it open probably till April. And currently, there's probably 100,000 a week oysters going out of there, and probably roughly 2,000 recreational permits, which make a lot of people real happy because oysters are a very popular commodity.
Absolutely, and they're so delicious in the cold weather. You know, you often think about oysters in the summertime, but really I think us true Cape Codders know that the best time of year for them is during the cold months. So you said 200,000 oysters a week. That's pretty amazing, and the supply is enough that will last through April?
No, 2,000 limits a week.
Oh, 2,000 limits a week, okay.
Yep.
Good to know. So looking at things to April, but talk to me a little bit about what goes into supporting that operation. Obviously, it's not as easy as just letting people get their permits and go out and get that. There's a lot of volunteers, a lot of people that really do an excellent job in making sure that everything works the way it should.
Oh, it does. Other than the fantastic staff we have, I'd just like to thank Barnstable County and CMAC, Southeastern Mass Aquaculture Association, and State Division of Marine Fisheries, who help us along with the funding, and they help give us a lot of seed that we plant. And also in Barnstable Harbor, there's 50 grant holders in the harbor that have private leased aquaculture grant sites. And many of them give us some of the ones they can't ship out or they can't sell, and we include those at the catch at Scudder Lane. And it's a huge public-private partnership, which is a unique situation for us.
And how long has that public-private partnership been in place? How long have you been working with these grant holders? Is it a relationship that's really kind of developed over the years?
It has, because sometimes a lot of the grant holders will grow cohogs because there's more of a demand in the markets for that. But now everyone, I'd say 80% of the grant holders out there are growing oysters because there's a much better market at this time for that. And they have a bunch of them. It's been going on maybe, I don't know, probably 10 years anyway.
Indeed. And so has it just been, favorable climate, favorable weather as to why we're having such a good season this year? What has attributed to having a better season this year than last?
Yeah, all of the above. The Mother Nature has a lot to do with the weather, the tides, the availability of the seed stock to grow them into larger size. And plus, the oysters grow very, very quickly, especially in good growing years. And this year we can grow an oyster from less than an inch up to 3.5 inches in 10 months or less, which is extremely good.
Absolutely. So, Doug, what do people need to know, perhaps if some of our viewers are maybe interested in going out there and getting some of those oysters? What do you need to do? Do you need to have classes? Do you need to be trained in how to do it? Or is it something that once you get your license, you can just kind of go out there? What would you recommend for people who are maybe beginners at shell fishing here in Barnstable?
Well, if somebody wants to begin, they can come to our office at 1189 Finney's Lane in Centerville across from the police station. And when they buy a permit, we have many, many maps, and the ladies up front will be more than happy to give you tips on where to go, how to go, and what to buy. Just, obviously some boots, warm boots this time of year, and some gloves. But other than that, the ladies up front are fantastic as far as telling you what to do and where to go. But Scudder Lane, I don't think I mentioned, but it's off of Route 6A in Barnstable Village. It's about 1.5 miles from Route 132 intersection.
To get your shell fishing license, you can stop by the Marine and Environmental Affairs Department located across from the police station on Finney's Lane. Now let's take a look at sports with Brenna McCoubry.
Good evening, Barnstable. I'm Brenna McCoubry here on Barnstable Today to give you the latest on New England and Red Raiders sports. Tonight, the Boston Celtics host Oklahoma City Thunder at TD Garden. Game time is at 7:30. The Boston Bruins have a matinee game tomorrow afternoon at 1. They will be playing at the Wells Fargo Center to take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Super Bowl 48 is coming up next week. Although the New England Patriots are done for the season, you can catch the matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks on February 2nd. The game will be held at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey at 6:30. Closing in on our local high schools sports, the Barnstable Red Raiders have a busy schedule this weekend. Tonight, the boys' basketball teams are on the road to face Dartmouth. JV begins at 5, varsity at 6:30. The girls' basketball teams also face Dartmouth, but will host them in Barnstable High School's gymnasium. JV starting at 5 and varsity at 6:30. Also at 6:30, the boys and girls' swim teams host Nauset at the YMCA. Tomorrow morning, the boys' wrestling team has a match at 9 a.m. in the Sandwich Cape Cod Invitational Tournament. As you can see, I'm wearing my jersey today, as well as the rest of the team, as we gear up for tomorrow's matchup versus Notre Dame Academy. The girls' varsity ice hockey team will be playing at the HYCC at 5:30. Stick around the HYCC for the boys' varsity ice hockey game at 7 as they take on Bridgewater Raynham. Also starting at 7, the girls gymnastics team is on the road to Notre Dame Hingham. That's it for sports here on Barnstable Today. I'm Brenna McCoubry.
That's it for us today. Thanks so much for watching. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.